Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel. And today we are back with another match preview, this time for Manchester United versus Norwich City in the Premier League. Now, before we get into the preview, there will of course be a watch along for this game. Kickoff is at 3 PM on Saturday, so the stream will start at 2:30, so be there or be square. Anyway, let's get on to the preview. And Manchester United coming to this game sat in 7th place in really poor form. 5 points from their last 15 available. Dreadful, isn't it? That is dreadful form. Norwich sit 20th and pretty much the same form. 4 points from the last 15. So form-wise, shockingly, we are very similar, which should never really be happening considering Manchester United are meant to be this season competing for that Premier League title. Or at least that was the aspiration of a lot of Manchester United fans. Not really including myself. I said we would finish third, but Champions League football was kind of what we had to achieve and like the bare minimum. While Norwich were always destined for relegation. I think I might have actually had them bottom because they always go up and down. So it's an absolute embarrassment that come to this stage of the season, the crunch end of the season, our form is is only 1 point better than bottom Norwich. It's an embarrassment. Coming into this game, how are both teams, what result are we coming into this game off of? We lost to Everton, a team who week before lost to Burnley. We lost to them 1-0. Anthony Gordon scoring a deflected shot off of Harry Maguire. Well, we were dreadful, weren't we? I've got nothing really more to say about that. It was a dreadful game, dreadful performance, and really just showed that majority of these players don't deserve to wear the shirt, don't really care anymore for this season, and the quicker it's done, the better. Norwich, on the other hand, who they're pretty much down, but they're believing that they can stay up, and they got a very big win against Burnley in their last game, beating them 2-0 in a huge game in terms of Burnley survival. And Norwich maybe be able to drag themselves out. I don't see it happening. I think that defeat means Burnley will get relegated. And I think Norwich will go down too. I think the relegation zone will stay how it is at this point. I think it will be Burnley. I think it will be Watford. And I think it will be Norwich. But Norwich coming into this game off the back of a win. Knowing how Manchester United are, could they get something? If you look at our last game against Norwich, we only beat them 1-0 thanks to a penalty in a game where, again, we weren't great, were we? Obviously, that was when Ralph Rangnick first took over and we were playing that 4-2-2. I honestly would not be surprised if we were to lose this game. And it's... I shouldn't have to say that, should I? I shouldn't be saying that because we should be comfortably winning this game. And it really shows how badly we are playing at the moment. And the extent of the rebuild that really needs to happen under the new manager, hopefully it's Erik ten Hag, where we're looking at this Norwich game and thinking, my God, they're bottom of the league, but they could do us. They could get something in this game, which it's embarrassing, isn't it, really? Moving on to team news for Norwich City. They are without a couple of players. Brandon Williams, of course, is on loan from Manchester United, so he's unavailable due to not being able to play your parent club. Centre-back Kabak, obviously on loan at Liverpool last season. He's out with a hamstring injury, as is centre-back Omdebadeli. That's definitely not how you pronounce it, but he's also out with a back injury, while Billy Gilmore has a doubt due to illness. The key player for Norwich is undoubtedly going to be Timu Puka. He's their goal threat, scored against Burnley. If they're going to score, most likely it's going to come from him. So that's kind of why I've given him the key player. Formation-wise, they've changed it up quite a lot. They could play as a 5-back, as a 5-3-2, could be a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. They're going to be hard-working. They're going to defend, really. That's the way that Norwich are going to play this game. They're going to defend, they're going to work, and they're going to try and hit us on the counter-attack. But let's be real here. Norwich are very poor. They aren't a great team. We should comfortably, and when I say comfortably because I mean it, we should comfortably be winning this game. It shouldn't be a case of, Norwich on their day might beat us. regardless of what Norwich team turns up, we should beat them. They are bottom of the league. They are going to get relegated. They should be getting put to the sword by this Manchester United team. And if we don't, it's an embarrassment. And I mean every word I'm saying here. We should be beating them convincingly. You're looking at Manchester United's team news. Yes, we've got a few players out. Cavani, shock horror, he is out. Fred with a hip injury. Looks like he will be missing this game. Luke Shaw is definitely out and probably will be until the end of the season at this point. He had some screws taken out of his leg from the injury he got, 6 years ago, against PSV. And apparently that will see him out for the rest of the season. Varane's got a knock, so he looked like he will be out. And McTominay's got a foot injury, so he should miss out. Which means the starting 11 for me and what I imagine Ralph Rangnick will play are very, very similar. Because there's not that many options, really. Here it is what I believe Ralph Rangnick will go with. So I think he'll go with De Gea and goal. I think Dalot will probably come back in for him. Lindelof and Maguire and Telles will almost certainly make the back three. Will be 3 of the back 4. It's just whether who will start at right back. Will it be Dalot or will it be Wan-Bissaka? I think he'll go with Dalot. But the other 3 defenders are almost certain he's not going to drop Lindelof or Maguire. And Telles has to play at left back. Midfield with McTominay and Fred out. It's going to be Pogba and Matic, isn't it? I don't know who else could play in there. Maybe Mata. Better not be Mata. It's going to be Pogba and it's going to be Matic, isn't it? And our front 4, I think Marcus Rashford will start. I think Sancho was definitely going to start. Bruno's going to start. And Cristiano Ronaldo. We don't have another striker, do we? So that's the team I imagine Ralph Rangnick will go with. And I don't really think you can argue too much on it. Maybe you bring an Alanga in for a Rashford. Maybe you start a Juan Mata or a Lingard instead of Rashford. But a Rashford and Dalot aside, I don't see how you can argue with that team. Because the injuries we've got and the players missing we've got means Pogba and Matic have to play. With Van der Beek out on loan, Bruno has to play really, doesn't he? So the only questionable options in there with the team news that, well, obviously, I don't know. I don't have inside sources. Just from what I can find online. With the team news as it is, I don't see how 90% of that team isn't how it is. Going on to my team, I would play, it's exactly the same. So I would play Wan-Bissaka over Dalot. I just prefer Wan-Bissaka. I like Wan-Bissaka. And look, I've made that clear over my time here. While Wan-Bissaka's been here. This whole season I've said I prefer Wan-Bissaka, so that's why I've put him in. I wouldn't be surprised, or I wouldn't really be too disappointed if Diego Dalot starts. Rashford, I've picked Rashford because play him into form. Maybe I think Norwich are going to sit deep. Maybe you want a runner who will try and take people on and maybe get a shot away. I think he's more of a goal threat than Alanga. I think Rashford does like to hit it from range, and maybe one of those can just dip in front of the goalkeeper, and Tim Krul, who probably be in goal for Hull, will just push it into the path of Ronaldo. That's kind of my thought process in picking Marcus Rashford over an Anthony Alanga. Jesse Lingard was very close to be put in there, but I just decided on Marcus Rashford in the end. But you look at that team and you just I don't see a way how we shouldn't be winning this game. If anyone's saying United should be cautious with this Norwich side, why? Apart from the fact that we don't turn up, why should that group of players be scared of that Norwich team? It shouldn't. We should comfortably steamroll, really, Norwich. And if we don't, again, it's a disgrace. And look, I'll die on this hill. We have to smash Norwich. Simple as that for me. As simple as that. So, with that in mind, what's my score prediction going to be? I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. I don't see how we concede to this Norwich team. They are poor. We've got a great goalkeeper in David De Gea, who has kept us in so many games this season. I hope he doesn't have to again. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he does have to. We should win this game, and I think we will. 2-0, easy as you like. Get through to the next game against Liverpool, and maybe we can talk about losing then. But now, I don't want to talk about losing, because if we do, it's a disgrace. Anyway, If you haven't enjoyed this match preview, please hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And let me know your score predictions down below in the comment section. Again, there is a watch along for this game. Details are on my side. Anyway, thank you all for watching and I'll see you all in the next one in a bit. Peace.